Everything going great so far.
All right, it's not selecting my headset. That's why. Okay. Now I can hear myself. Okay. Sorry about that.
Welcome to
uh,
OBS.
exactly. I've been having headset problems this entire time. So, well, good evening, role players. Thank you for joining me today. We had a bit of a late start because of a combination of tech issues and also my alarm failed me. So, now we are getting started. I hope you don't mind a late start. And I want to thank everybody who's joining me so far. So it's good to see you, Al. And I also want to thank my panel of guests who I will introduce to you once we get our topic started. So, firstly, today our topic is we're going to be doing an interview with game masters. So game master, for anybody who's curious, is the generic term for a dungeon master, which is the D&D specific term for people who run the tabletop role-playing game. And so we're going to be going over things like their experiences and what they've enjoyed out of their experiences, what maybe they haven't enjoyed, what are some basics that they expect from a player, and are there any tips that they can give? And we also will be welcoming anybody who would like to give their open experience as well. So that will be later on in the stream. I will post a link in the live chat for that later on. So um, if you want to participate in further the conversation, when I post that Discord link at the top of the live chat, you can hop in the live stage with me. You must be 18 and older. And you can come and go as you please throughout the duration of the stream once I post that link. If you are interested in learning more about roleplay and role-playing games or finding and coordinating role-playing campaigns, you can join our community server, Ready to Roleplay. So I will post that link in the chat right now. Here is the role-playing community server. This server is open for all kinds of roleplay, all kinds of games, and it's just a general community for, secular ethics and, if you want to just be part of the community, maybe like you're not a big gamer or you're not a big role player, this is open for everybody. Just know that we tend to be geeks, writing nerds, gaming geeks, like all that sort of stuff where we get into that sort of fun. And we also tend to talk about maybe some secular humanist topics as well. But there is a very specific secular humanist server that you can join that I have linked in the description. It is called the Daily Atheist Media Network Discord, and you can join their Discord server that I'm also a part of in the description. And like Wolfo said, please, if you can, like to get more people to participate in the conversation. And if you want to know that when we go live, like when we have errors like we did today, you can subscribe and know exactly when we go live. Usually on Mondays, but we had a problem with scheduling for this week, so we had to move it over to Wednesday. So please subscribe. You will also be able to check whenever I post in the community tab. So you can go over to the posts tab in my channel. I always post announcements on whether there's a scheduling problem and I need to reschedule, or if there's going to be like maybe a much later stream that day or something like that. So if you help sub, we recently got to over 100 subscribers. I believe with your help, we can get to 200. And if we do, we'll be able to spread our love for roleplay and tabletop role-playing games. I would be so excited to be able to get more people into the conversation about role-playing and tabletop role-playing games. So
Yeah,
please,
spread that love.
yes, please. We want all the freaking, we want the love, we want the hugs, we want the role play. We are ready to role play. Let's go. I know we can do it. Um, and just a quick statement. I am an official credentialed creator with the Creator Accountability Network, and CAN is a nonprofit dedicated to reducing harassment and abuse through ethical education and a system of restorative accountability. Please visit their link in the description for more resources and information. Their resources include places like RAIN and the like hotline for victims of crime. So if you are a survivor or victim of violence, please check out the resources there. And if you are in immediate danger, please call 911 if you're in the US or your national emergency number. Um, there are people who can help you, and it can be done confidentially if you need it. So please avail yourself of those resources if you need them. Also, last disclaimer, the opinions of my guests that join my panel today are theirs alone and not shared by myself, this channel, or the Creator Accountability Network. Independent fact checking needs to be done on any claim made here today, including any claims that I make. So please, if we do any like weird tangent thing that we always tend to do, remember, fact check everything. And we're going to introduce the panel today. So, the people that I will be interviewing for our Dungeon Master game mastering experiences are the top billing that I currently have in the description is Wolfo. Hi, Wolfo.
Oh,
Thank you for joining me today.
it's good to be here.
I definitely appreciate you having you here. Our next billing is Fern. Thank you for joining me, Fern.
Oh, well, hello, Vic. Thank you for having me as a surprise. And as the cause of your disclaimers about opinions.
You are not the cause of my disclaimers. It was
What?
because
No,
You can
I'm
be
the
honest.
cause.
No, you can be honest.
I think it did start with Jester and Miss Non Sequitur. So I think that actually was the beginning of the disclaimers. But
I think
It
the
was
first time I
definitely
heard you give one was after a show I had been on. And
well, that was the first
there
time
were
I
moments that I
did
paused.
one. But it wasn't. But it
Well,
wasn't. You weren't the direct cause. You might have been related, but not the direct cause.
okay,
Uh,
sure.
I'm
Let's
also
go with
trust
that.
me. It was Aaron and I. It was
Okay.
definitely
yeah.
Aaron and I.
I think you were the start of it. But I also give claims sometimes that I don't immediately fact check or that I have to bring up later. And it was actually something that I had been talking with the Creator Accountability Network because this was something before I started bringing up guests for, various tangents and topics. And I talked to them. I said,
Sure.
it's a live stream. Anything can happen on live. What happens when they say something, that may be problematic, or sometimes you have guests that you don't know who they are, like especially if I'm posting a link in the chat for people to join, and
So I'm
they
not.
huh?
Am I not allowed to talk about the dihydromonoxide that they're putting in the water?
Yeah, well, you may have to fact check that one afterwards. Uh, and
Please do.
by fact checking, I mean learn that dihydrogen monoxide is water.
Damn it! You spoiled all my fun.
I went through too much chemistry to not ruin the fun. Um, But before we
me
start,
see.
let me catch up on the chat real quick. Um, the tetradodecahedron is the best shape for a die. I can see that. And hi, Stop the Stupidity. Good to see you. Thanks for joining.
Sweet.
And
That's got to be an atheist. Hooray.
definitely. I think most of us in here are skeptics. I've only I've only had one like I know was a theist, but they were like a spiritual theist, and they stopped coming when I stopped uh like talking about actively religious topics, which we can still go on those tangents, but I'm just not going to make a stream based on that topic.
Sure. Makes
Uh,
sense.
uh,
All right. I've derailed enough. Should we get started?
well, so we should get started here pretty soon. And I need to get the game started as well so we can get our things going. But to get us started so that it's not false advertising with my title and my whatever the hell it's called thumbnail.
There you
I
go.
will start us off. Let's see. Jester, did I introduce you?
Do I need introduction?
Oh, good
Yes.
point.
I honestly think my reputation precedes me at this point, although I did want to give a quick PSA on the Creator Accountability Network.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Because it has been going around in the community without bringing up
Yeah, no
any.
claims, no names, no details.
Is it
Yes.
chlamydia?
Just wanted to make sure people understood the Creator Accountability Network has no authority over anyone. It works through consensual arbitration and provides a pathway by which people can talk, not necessarily to, but with a creator to vent concerns and get those things addressed. It does not have legal authority, and it cannot step in situations
In
where
criminal
both parties
situations.
are
Yeah.
not inviting it.
Yeah.
Yes, if
Okay.
you are experiencing criminal things, by the way, don't even bother with the Creator Accountability Network. We have police.
Yeah, in those cases. Well, that's also, yeah, so like I said, if you are in immediate danger, please call your emergency number. If you are not in immediate danger, then the resources like RAIN and like the National Hotline for Sexual Abuse and these like well backed, well researched resources can provide confidential aid to you to help you figure out your next steps. Those steps can include getting involved with law enforcement, or those next steps can include if it has to be like some sort of civil litigation or something, whatever whatever they will go with what you need for the most part, as long as no one is in immediate danger. If people are in immediate danger, then they are going to advise that you bring in law enforcement. Um, and the reason why I tend to, save law enforcement for immediate danger is because they're often not trained for situations that are more complex, that need counselors and therapists. So, you know, there
Which
there are some police departments that do provide that training, but it's kind of a crapshoot. You kind of don't know. Go ahead, Jester.
which is in fact why I wanted to bring that up, because the Creator Accountability Network is not going to step into situations where they don't belong, because that inherently puts everybody in more danger. Like,
Sure.
even if there's no danger to start, stepping into somewhere where you don't belong, you're creating more stress, more anxiety, and people get out of hand. So,
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Um, as the name suggests, the Creator Accountability Network is for creators and viewers and the, content creation community. So, if you are a viewer or you are like a member of an audience who feels that there has been harm done with a creator, you can seek civil arbitration through them where they can provide restorative justice measures. So they do not do punitive justice. That's the biggest thing I love about them, where they focus on um, trying to provide reconciliation and resources to help restore what has been harmed, and then also focus on harm prevention for the future. So if if you think that there has been an issue with anybody's content, or if you think that there has been harm within the content creation community, you can give them a report. I also have their contact information in the description, as well as a link to their resources. But you could just go to their site, see if you have anything that you would like to avail yourself there. So they are a great community, and it's also a great way to know whether or not your favorite creator is following a code of ethics and staying compliant with those code of ethics. And you can report if you feel like they have not been compliant with those code of ethics. And if you are a creator with the network, you can work with an unbiased mediator to determine whether or not the report uh, is what's the word I'm looking for?
Chlamydia?
No, I was
Not chlamydia.
about to say, I guess I would say fortunately not that one, but the word I'm looking for is like checking to make sure that the report is actually concerned with the code of ethics. Some people will do false reports, or some people are genuinely mistaken. They don't understand what the report system is for, and so maybe they have done a report that's because maybe something is a topic that could be sensitive, and they think it's been handled poorly. But as long as it's within the code of ethics, and there's been, um, you know, there have been caution. There's been caution and proper measures taken beforehand. Then they can go ahead and unbiased with an unbiased mediator determine the validity of that report. Okay, so now that I have gotten my drink refilled, yeah, I'm so sorry, Al. That was probably my background noise. I was doing a quick uh, um, dishwashing and drink refilling since I was using a water bottle thing. So I apologize. My bad. And I agree, Al. The having a standard to hold creators accountable, I think, is very much needed. Oh, an electronic sound. Well, that I don't know. I didn't hear an electronic sound. Okay, so let's see if there aren't any audio problems still. We can dive into our first question for Game Masters / Dungeon Masters. Oh, you're saying the electronic sound is there still. Okay, let me hear.
I think you're having like some level issues. There's some electronic artifacts in your audio.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Well, let me do a reset and see if that helps. 1 second.
I personally blame the chlamydia. He's back.
Avast, ye scurvy dogs!
Yarr.
We sail!
Okay, do you still hear any problems?
You might need to say a little more before we can be sure.
Okay, all right. Well, then I'll start with the first question, and then you guys can go from there. Wolfo. I will ask Wolfo first. So, when did you first start running tabletop role-playing games?
Ironically, it was during Weed Day of April 20th of 2020.
Ooh.
I do not partake of the weed, but it just so happens that that was the day that we started.
Al says it's less noticeable. I don't know how to fix that. Maybe I can.
It's
Maybe
not
I
as
can do
severe.
that pretty soon.
It's not enough to be too worried about. We'll get used to it pretty quick.
That's not good.
I almost don't hear it at all anymore. So I think you're doing pretty good.
Okay. It might be the noise gate. When I left the room, I have a loud fan in my room, and usually the noise gate knows to suppress that, but I left the room, and so maybe when I came back, it didn't. It was like, well, what's that?
Well, honestly, it's been happening the whole stream, so I don't know if it has
It
anything to do with leaving the
has?
room.
You're
Yeah,
kidding.
it's just I just assumed it was your mic or something. There's something wrong with your mic, or maybe like your gain settings. I don't know.
I have. Let me look at advanced audio properties.
By
There's
the way,
like nothing changed.
I catch streams like this all the time. There are like about 2/3 of the streams that I watch. The first 30 minutes is nothing but let's figure out what's going on with the audio. So this is normal to me.
Huh. Interesting. Okay, so I can't really hear it in my when I rewind and look at the stream and I listen to it. It doesn't give me that artifacting. Okay, yeah, I don't know. I've done what I
Let's just
can.
carry
I'm
on.
sorry. Yeah, I can't do more without like restarting my computer again. So,
Okay.
yes. So, Fern, same question. When did you first start running TTRPGs?
What? Oh my goodness! If only I'd had these questions beforehand. No, I'm not entirely certain about the year because the years of that period have blurred together for me somewhat. But it was probably around 2012 or 2013, I think, is the first time I tried to run a game, and then it went so stressfully that I didn't try again for like more than a year.
Right.
Yeah, it was a while back, and I can't remember the month. I have no idea. All of it blurred together. I was captive in Florida, and they don't have seasons, so I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know how to keep track of time when I'm there.
Gotcha. Totally. I get you. Okay. And let's see. You know what I can do? so that I don't have to keep tabbing out. I can pull it up on my phone. Let me pull it up on my phone.
There you go. The next part was how many games so far, but I think that was actually supposed to be part of question 1.
It is. It's part of question 1. It's like kind
Oh.
of a continuation. So yeah, Wolfo. How many games have you run so far, if you can recall?
I'm currently running 2 campaigns, but I have had 1.5 campaign, the half one being my first one, and it was a module campaign. That one did not successfully end because there was a play-by-post, and it took 3 years to do 2 encounters. I was like, I'm not doing that again.
Yeah, yeah. I 100% get that. Technically, one of the games that I started, which was play by post, so it was all text based. It's my fault that I was the last, like, it was my turn last, and I just never felt well enough again to post.
Yeah, this one happens to be one of the players that was like, which eventually did join this first campaign, but they were not very attentive to when their turn was happening, and
Mm,
people would get their turn done in orderly fashion. But once this player showed up, there was radio silence until we pinged him like 3 or 4 times, and then he would make one response and be like, "All right, well, good job.
Oh,
Now you get to make more replies." Because
is it
Ian
my turn?
elaborates.
Was it my turn, guys? Oh, okay.
yeah, that's the really hard part about forum posting. So, like, the majority of role plays that I did, I think role play is best when it's done while everybody is present. Forum role plays, which are the ones that like are play by post, those can take a really long
Yeah.
time and people can drop out real fast. So, yeah, I can totally understand that. So you said, let's see, you've finished 1.5 campaigns and you're currently doing two
2 of them. Yes.
two of them. You're currently running 2. Cool. All right, same question for Bird. How many games have you done so far?
I mean, that's really hard to say. Wolfo kind of touched on a bit of a, like, how do we calculate that? Like, so do we count games that it lasted for 5 sessions and then it just sort of fizzled out because like one of the players left and then we just couldn't coordinate schedules? Or do we only count games that we completed at least X number of adventures? Like, it's hard to calculate that. But if you talk about like individual campaigns that I actually started, and then for whatever reason they ended, it's got to be somewhere past 20 or so. But I mean, I did this a lot. The situation I was in was very different from standard situations. It's not a once a week we meet up for a few hours and do this thing, or we meet up every month for a whole day. No, there were periods for 3 or 4 years where I was playing literally every single day. So it's, or maybe like I would get one day off out of like a 2-week span.
Mm-hmm.
And only, it wasn't really like a day off. It was just that we played all the time because that was how we filled the time. So yeah, it's a very different situation. It's very easy to start up and run a lot of games. So that's what we did. We just took turns being GMs, and like there were times when I was running a game of my own and then involved in 3 other games. So it was full of this stuff. We were doing this all the time, and it was all Pathfinder First Edition except for a few random one-offs. So I played a lot of them, and then I've run quite a few as well.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, let me turn this down. This is very, very loud. Okay, there.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, it was my fault. My game was very, very loud. And I keep getting run over. Yeah, so I totally get that. Like the one game I ever kind of DM'd was yeah, it was one of those games. Those long forum posts, and it didn't. Yeah, it didn't finish.
Excuse
Okay.
me.
So next one, Wolfo. How have you felt about your time running TTRPGs overall?
It's been pretty good. It's fun exploring worlds and settings with the players as they adventure through it. I think I think it's pretty fun.
We might have had a chance.
Excuse me while I die of coffee over here.
Let me let this thing finish real quick.
Attacking the warehouses at the bottom of that hill.
We've got a fancy cinematic going on.
He's so faint.
Like these. Okay. Yeah. So same question for you, Fern.
Yeah, you remembered me. How
Sorry, I'm in combat.
That's fine. It's fine. I'm not actually watching the stream. I'm a bad guest. So how I felt about my time running TTRPGs overall. I think I have kind of mixed feelings, but overall I have a very strong fondness for the enterprise, the practice of getting together and having these games. I enjoy running about 10 times less than I enjoy playing. But that's because I have such high anxiety about whether or not I'm going to do well and like just how the session's going to go and how off the rails will everything get. So I have a lot of anxiety about doing well, and I don't get that same anxiety about playing. I have almost no anxiety about playing. So as a GM, it's a lot more stress, but it has a very different kind of reward than playing. So I am actually really grateful for all of the opportunities I've had to engage with people and create these really interesting narratives.
Sure. Yeah, I definitely look. I agree. You got some crazy fun ideas that I love running with. In fact, if people don't already know, the current campaign that I'm running with Fern and Wolfo, where Wolfo is the dungeon master, Fern suggested the premise of the campaign be like drunk girls in the bathroom who are like hysterical and crying over something dumb, and they like pledge to back each other up for life, as drunk girls do. And by drunk girls, it's not gender specific. It can be literally anyone. So
Oh my god, you guys are my best friends. Okay, we're best friends now.
exactly. Yeah. So that it's been fun, and Jester is the like tavern owner. It's
Not quite. He's a chef.
Yeah.
oh
Yeah,
well,
I'm
yeah.
only the chat.
He's the cook. He cooks things.
Goal is to become tavern owner, but so far I am just a lowly chef.
Well,
Also, I'm pretty sure that I've lost my job at this point because I
You just
haven't
left.
shown up for work.
I kind of fucked off without informing my boss or giving any notice.
All right, we're gonna earn all the money we need so you can set up your own restaurant in some other town, and it'll all work out.
Ooh, look at all this. I can maybe get something new. Oh, it's the same thing. God damn it. That's like the third howl tattoo I've gotten in a row. But that's a new tattoo. So the next question, let's see. I already did how you felt, for both of you, I believe.
We're on number 3.
Yep, we are now on number 3. Uh-oh. Did I just call the guards?
Awesome.
Sorry. I'm like in this
Guards.
weird limbo where there's nobody in town, but it's like somehow still applying. But yeah, so
Guards. Who wants to make
Number
some
3.
bribery money?
Yeah, right. Oh, that's a remove tattoos card. Well, I don't know who doesn't have the remove tattoos card, but whatever. So Wolfo, what are some highlights that you loved while DMing? So like during a session, is there like something that you particularly remember that you really loved? Or like a scene or something that a player did, like any sort of highlight that you can think of.
For me, this has been my previous campaign where the doppelgangers were not just a one and done deal. They figured it out quite early in the game, but the fact that one player, Jester, discovered that yes, it indeed was about teleportation.
Oh, that Jester figured out that the doppelgangers were using teleportation? Is that what you're saying?
They were clones that were being taken out from the teleportation. It's kind of complicated, but he did figure it out.
Yeah.
That
I
does
still
sound
don't fully understand it. I think it's like the Star Trek teleporters, but if you didn't destroy the original.
Yeah.
Oh, like when you make
Plus,
a double. Gotcha.
I hate when that happens.
plus like timeline the timeline book / movies faxing idea where when you make the copy it has errors.
Yep.
God, you sound like my
Although
mom.
this fax machine had some severe bugs in it because
Yeah,
those
it was like a high school printer.
no high school
Wait.
printers don't flip faces upside down. It was like nightmare fuel printers.
I'm pretty sure my
Early
high
AI
school.
generated images kind of printer.
Yes. It takes your matter and it goes, I shall reproduce something like this thing, and then it says, your face is a hand, your chest is an upside down face, your legs are also hands, and you have legs coming out of your arm sockets, but no feet.
Legs. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, got you. I had to picture.
Like, absolute nightmare fuel. This is why this is why when there's even a hint in the campaign that we might be coming up on more doppelgangers, I have a visceral reaction as a player because I'm like, no, fuck you.
Oh, you can add several augmentations. But yeah, no, I get you. In fact, we had a situation where oh, it won't let me. I guess
Mind you, I'm not complaining. I just wanted to add that. I'm not complaining. I have a reaction. I don't like the doppelgangers, but that doesn't mean it didn't make it fun and engaging. Because sometimes you don't like what you're engaging with, but it's interesting.
Yeah. How better to display an evil person than doing evil things?
That Valkyrie will think twice before attacking us again. We've
Well,
got it all
within
wrong.
reason, of course.
Dirty.
Everybody has to have consent about it.
Folks say it lives by Witchwood Lake. Come back with its pelt, and I'll reward you.
I love that I've been doing all of these with no clothes. All these little cinematics, I've had no clothes.
Oh man, I've got to watch the stream. What the hell am I doing?
It's because it's a boast. The boast is I do this without clothes.
Man, I can't seem to find a way to mute the app. Does not work. All right, that's not going to work. All right, where are we?
A potion. Okay, what's this? Oh, these are fancy. Let's see if I can grab them before anybody. This is the first time I've been stealing stuff. Why does it take so long to steal an item? That's crazy.
I do not know. Like,
Lots of dice rolls.
because like, for various reasons, mostly fun pranks, I have swiped things from my friends. And it can take time to do a setup. But once you know it's time to do the swiping, you want to just, quickly do it. It's sleight of hand, not slow of hand.
Exactly.
I want a lover with a slow hand. And an easy touch.
All right.
Oh, I'm old.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm
I'm
gonna go
also
get
not
the
very-
wagon full of water.
I'm not very cultured. That's another problem that I have.
It was just an old, silly old song.
There was also the memorable point in time during my previous campaign when 2 of the players got dragon sickness.
And
Now,
what is that?
for those of you that
pumpkin.
are Lord of the Rings fans,
It's gone.
specifically The Hobbit, you'll know the sickness.
Is that when you drink too many dragons?
I'm thinking it means you want to hoard things and protect them.
Yeah, it's when you want gold for gold's sake.
Sorry.
Oh,
Being a rogue.
You mean like IRL dragon sickness?
Yeah. In this case, it was 3 portable holes full of gold. All just gold coins. Turns out that it's about 27 million gold coins can fit inside one of those things. Roughly. You may have to do some math on that, but I'm not going to do it.
That's stupid
It's
metal.
a 10-foot cylinder that's about 5 feet wide. There you go. Gold coins are about 1 inch in diameter and 1/10 of an inch thick. There you go. Everybody can do the math on that one.
What did I pick up? It didn't say. Oh, whoa, shit. Oh my god.
Oh, hey, you have friends.
Pause. Let me pause so I can give you the question. What are the... I guess, would that be the low light of your campaign?
Yeah, that would be the low light, where half the players basically were corrupted with fake money.
Oh, half?
Everybody got too many rewards. Too many rewards.
So Fern, here's your
I didn't do it.
highlights and questions. Your highlights and lowlights. Is that?
Oh,
Yeah, that's
right,
the word.
right.
The highlights and lowlights
Right,
questions.
yeah.
So what are your highlights and what are your lowlights?
Hope everything's okay, sir.
Well, actually, let me start with the lowlights for a second, because I brought it up before we started the stream. The really anxiety about how well I'm going to do, like if I can be a decent GM or not. That was actually always kind of a thing, like the stress of it, the anxiety of it. No matter how much I would like tell myself, this is just, it's this idea of like internal pressure. You're putting too much pressure on yourself. You're stressing about stuff you don't need to worry about. Just go in, have fun, stop over preparing, stop overthinking it. Just go have a good time. And you can wing it and it'll all work out okay. And it always did work out okay. But like that stress of like, am I going to be ready? Am I going to do a good job? Kind of worried me, especially because my first time running was kind of a disaster, which I guess is sort of par for the course. Your first time is usually not great. You look back and go, oh, I made all the mistakes. But it also leads me to one of my highlights is that I had a few really good people who, after that really awful session, gave me some really good feedback that was honest and yet not mean. And it gave me a lot of really useful new perspectives, because after you've actually tried to do it and you kind of see what it's really like, you have a whole different image in your head about what it means to run a game and how it works and what you have to do for it. I had a really, really good GM for a few years before I tried. And the first game went really disastrously, but his feedback afterwards kind of gave me even more insight into what a good GM he is, because he was able to pick up on the things that he saw in me that were worth building on and give me advice that I needed to hear about what I was doing right and wrong. So it turned it into what could have been just a low light period, that this was a bad point for me. And it turned it into something that actually became really constructive and helpful in learning that what I did wrong helped other people illuminate for me what I could do better and what I was already good at. Like he says, well, you're strong with this, but you need to, don't stress about that. You've got to find your own voice. Don't try to just imitate what I do. Like, you have your own way of doing things. You don't do things the same way I do. You don't think the same way I do. I was really stressed about like system mastery, because he was phenomenal. He knew the systems so well, and anything we threw at him, he always had the right answer for figuring out how to get things done and how the mechanics work and all that. And he's like, you don't really have that yet. You only get that with experience. You have to first like give yourself a break, just make a ruling. And if you need to correct yourself later, you can do that. That's fine. Just be consistent about being, showing integrity. Just be honest and communicate with your players. Like say, hey, I know that when we did it in the moment, it was a little wrong. So here's what we're going to do going forward. And then that's it. That's all you have to do is just own up, show up, and do what you can. And so just don't sweat all the details too much. Go ahead and let things go and try to work with what you get. And it helped me a lot. So yeah, I've spent a lot of time laughing around those tables, and that's been the best. I love when everybody has a good time and we're all just having kind of silly moments together, or there's intense character moments that turn into something hilarious or delightful or unexpected. And you don't get the same kinds of engagement with other forms of gaming. There's something about sitting around together, rolling these dice and playing these silly little characters that creates a dynamic that's really, really valuable to me. So the highlight for me has just been like these engaging kind of experiences.
Absolutely. Yeah, I 100% agree. Being able to, you know, especially if it's a casual game experience where, you know, everybody's there, they all agree they want to have fun, and you know, joking about is encouraged. You know, playing around, things like that. Like those are really fun campaigns that I've enjoyed, and I'm able to, I think, make great friendships with people I can joke around with. And I've also got another campaign where it's definitely more serious. It's a political intrigue campaign, and it is very, very like energy draining for someone like me who gets brain fog pretty easily. But I still, you know, am able to, I think, make good friendships with people. It's just something like, it's not something that you would want to do more than once a week, because it is very, very exhausting.
Yeah, serious games can be really rewarding, but they can also be like you just said, they can be kind of draining. It's a lot of emotional energy for me to engage in like really intellectual or serious kinds of dramatic role play. So the fun stuff is something I can do day to day. I can do funny all the time, but
exactly.
if you want me to get serious, like it's hard for me to get into that space, and when I do, like I can't do that very often.
Yeah, I think I probably could have done better so when I was getting into this game, they had mentioned political intrigue, but I didn't think it was going to be like so like detail oriented, where
really involved,
where you are literally solving every problem with politics. And I thought, because the system was based off of Symbaroum and the world is Symbaroum, that I thought, you know, I was making a character that was, because I knew everybody else was making like a political character. I thought, okay, well, we're going to be doing fighting, so I guess I'll just make my character like more fighting focused, and whatever they need, like I can gather information, I can sneak in and steal stuff or something. Like she doesn't have to be messing with the politics part. But
yeah, like you could be the cat's paw that would complement the political syndrome.
Yeah, it turns out, I mean, look, I'll say this. For our first tutorial fight, I was the only one who wasn't at 1 HP. But, boy, that was fucking brutal. The fight was brutal. It took so much energy, because all of us, we were all at the edge of our seat. Like, is this swing gonna kill us? Is this swing gonna kill us? This is the round where I'm gonna die, you know? But the thing is that now I'm like, I kind of regret how I built my character, because it's so difficult to like get into the political part that I'm kind of like, if she dies, she dies.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have those moments, but at the same time, I feel like maybe you've got an opportunity where you can, you know, talk to your GM and say, hey, look, I really want to find more avenues for my character to engage. I don't feel like it fits well in with just the political side of things. I think part of the intrigue might include, being able to utilize my skills a little bit more. What ways can I take advantage of that? Like what sort of opportunities am I missing?
Well, I think we have. Like, there have been plenty of opportunities. And, where I could, I did. A lot of it was just kind of not knowing how the system worked. And I was like, I'll make a sneaky ranger. And I learned that the way that the system works, if you're making someone sneaky, you have to put more shit into making them smart as well, and I had to sacrifice being smart for being a good hunter, which doesn't make sense, but she needed a really good aim.
It just seems to me like whatever the system might be, there's got to be a way for the GM to help incorporate your character more effectively, And I think asking them, like, what can I do to find more opportunities is a really polite way to say, like, I don't feel entirely included.
I don't know. I think
I don't know. Maybe I'm misunderstanding you. I don't know.
It's tough because I think that they're doing. I think it could be half and half. It could be I'm missing a lot of opportunities because I don't know what I'm doing. And it could also be that I just didn't make a good character for a political intrigue campaign, to be honest. But I mean, I guess I prevented us from dying, so that's good. But you can't do political intrigue if you're dead. But real quick, what I wanted to go into before we continue. So there's this letter that's kind of part of this main quest that is called Teresa's letter. I'm going to read that aloud. Dear brother, I have always known we were special, and now I have found proof. This book tells of a bloodline from the days of the Old Kingdom, and its connection to a sword powerful enough to rule the world. A bloodline Mother belonged to, I am certain. A bloodline you and I belong to as well. Perhaps, with your eyes, you will understand it better than I do. I speak to the pages, but they don't speak back. Teresa. People didn't catch last time. Teresa's blind, but she, can see. She's like, that blind prophetess sort of thing. Oh, there's a book.
The blind seer.
Right.
That's so oxymoronic.
Well, that's actually the intentional thing in mythology.
Yeah.
Being blind allows you to see. In fact, that's part of why Odin has sacrificed his eye.
Yes.
With one eye, he is able to see what is in front of him. Because he lacks the other, he is able to see the unseen.
Right. Okay, this thing is really screwed up. I'm going to have to... I wish they would let me scroll on my own. They won't let you scroll on your own. It does an automatic scroll, and now the automatic scroll is really screwed up. All right.
It's good news.
I'm going to have to read this Bloodline book. Somehow I won first prize, and I don't know how.
Ta-da! You're welcome.
Check the guild.
I helped.
Oh. I think so. I think they might have confused the do a quest naked and the win the first prize fishing competition. Like, that got switched somehow.
Glitches?
What?
Oh, okay, what? Alright, it says, that's a real lunker. Win first prize in the fisherman's competition, or complete the boast for doing any quest naked.
Okay.
That's a weird combination.
Well, in case you're not comfortable getting nude in the digital realm, here's this other silly thing you could do.
Perhaps it's a way to Give options.
Ugh, I would
Allow
never.
people
I'm
to
done with high
play.
school.
Allow people to play in multiple ways. Ooh. I really hope that didn't go through.
What
What?
did you do?
I scrolled on my phone and it started playing sounds.
I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, I don't think it did anything.
Okay.
I think you're fine.
I didn't hear the adult website.
Sadly, it was just a lightning bolt, but you know.
Oh, same thing. Where are we?
Okie doke.
I think
Yeah,
we're
so
on
I'm gonna.
we're Nova 4.
I gotta find out how to read the Bloodline book without it being crazy. That's the blood. Okay. Though the old kingdom vanished centuries ago, pieces of it remain scattered throughout Albion. The guild, in its magnificent glory, ruined architectural corpses, dark and unholy secrets thriving beneath the earth, but more survives in stone and oh my god! Okay, there we go. More survives the stone and magic, for there is still among us the living legacy of the kingdom itself, a lineage that is connected with all that made the kingdom great and somehow ended up distorting it. Whether they are the descendants of Archon himself, or of the makers of the sword, or perhaps of those who managed to extinguish its power, it is not known. Though generations separate them from the days of the fall, there walk today survivors of this bloodline, and an ancient power courses through their veins. They may live as heroes, or they may hide among the masses. This, I hate that it's an auto-scroll. This is killing me.
You know, you're not required to read it aloud if you want to just skim through it while we're,
Yeah,
waiting
I got
for
it.
that.
I gotta figure it out. But they're linked.
Stupid game.
Although, next time you want it read aloud, I call dibs.
And perhaps the days of old kingdom can be restored. There is one to whom all the signs direct me.
I love reading
Feels my
in
face that much smarter as one. Oh my god! Even when I try,
I think it scrolls too fast.
It does. It scrolls too fast, and I don't know how to make it so that I can control the scrolling. Who decided this? Who decided this was a good concept?
I'm sorry. I had a touch of the autism that week.
It's just a book and a game. Nobody's gonna read this.
I mean, people don't read things. Whatever.
Well,
skip.
So the thing is that it does this for anything that has text that's longer than it can be displayed on the page. And there are quests and shit that will have stuff that are longer than a page. So I don't know why they did that. Maybe it's different with the PC system.
What are you playing? I know this is ignorant of me, but what game are you playing?
Fable Anniversary.
Control.
Oh,
rolling.
Just in time. Guess who's gonna box? Once the boxing dude arrives.
Oh, that's funny. There's somebody on the message board complaining that they have to wait for the thing to scroll down automatically.
Well, it just, a second ago, it started slowly scrolling backwards for no reason. I've never seen it do that.
Can't scroll with my controller, it's all auto. But after a pass or two, it begins doing some funky things like slowly scrolling up before bouncing straight to the bottom of the cup. This seems to be a bit of a problem for people.
Yep. Here goes. I'm gonna start boxing. Okay. Yeah, no problem. Tilt. It's all right. Oop, crap.
Fixes. I assume tilting windmills is in the chat. Is that correct?
Yes. Tilt joined us.
Hello, tilting windmills. I really like seeing tilting windmills. I love the reference to Don Quixote. So there's that, and then there's just somebody I keep thinking of as like, oh, tilting is a person who's getting into tabletop role-playing games, and I I had a little personal fantasy moment where I was like, maybe I could try running a Pathfinder 2 game so we could all learn it together. And hey, maybe Tilting would want to join. And then my panic kicked in, and I'm like, I can't do that. That's way too much stress. So,
Oh,
Okay, random thought. Anyway, moving on. Where are we? Question 4? Let's go to question
Yeah, question
4.
4.
I
What
want
are
to
the
do a campaign
basics?
with tilting.
I do too,
Yep.
actually. I'd like to play with Tilting just to
Yeah.
have fun with a new player. I like having a new player around. It gives me an excuse to review rules and be like, oh yeah, this is how this thing works. I forgot about that.
Hmm. Oh, we have left-handed Jedi with us. Yeah. So the next
Jedi 2.
one,
You're supposed to stay inside the
Wolfo, can you read the next question for me?
What?
Because I'm
I
currently in the
can.
middle of a fight that I can't switch my phone to.
Or I'll ask
Did you like
Wolfo,
me
and then
to?
Wolfo can ask me. How about that? I'll ask Wolfo. Wolfo can ask me. You can play your game. How does that work?
Fern,
All right.
what are the basics you expect from a player before, during, and after a session?
Oh, well, funny you should ask that, Wolf. I was about to ask you the same thing, but in the meantime, since you asked first, I actually kind of want to reword the question because I've made an enemy of the word expect. About the minimal I expect out of the player is to show up. What I actually want from them, what I hope for, but I try not to expect so that I don't get disappointed, because that's what happens when you expect things. I would hope that they would show up on time and ready to play at the start time, which is ironic because I've been terrible about that lately. Stupid life.
It's up to me.
I would also expect that when they're in the midst of the game and we're, all doing our things, that they actually pay some attention to what we're doing. And then when their turn comes up, they maybe have been thinking about what they will do when that happens. Now, that's not always a super critical thing, but when you're talking about turns, like in terms of combat, I really need, when everybody else is taking their turn, I need for you to be thinking about your turn, what you will do. Pay attention to what's going on and think about whether or not that affects what you're going to do, but be ready to do something when I say, okay, Wolfo, what does your character do? You should have an idea when I say that already. Oh, okay. Well, because so-and-so did blah, I'm going to go do that. Yeah. As always. It's always with the initiative. So that's that. Before show up, be ready ahead of time. Know that we're going to play. Be there during. Be present as best you can. And I understand we get distractions and what have you. And some of us have, neuro bizarreness of our own, and so we have to process in different ways. We actually kind of need to have two things going on, or else we have trouble focusing. So I understand that. So work what works best for you. Just do your best to engage with us. As for after, though, it would be really cool if there's anything that you've struggled with or that you found difficult or challenging. It would be cool if you could find a way to let me know that. Ideally in a constructive sense, like, for example, Vic was just talking about, and if I were in her circumstance, this is how I would handle it. I would talk to my GM after we had the session, and I would probably employ like a sandwich method, go back to management class and do the sandwich thing. Let them know what things I really liked. Like, I want to give them feedback about things that were good for me and positive for me. And then let them know areas that I feel like could be improved. So if I was in Vic's case, I might say something like, I'm liking that this is a campaign where there's a lot of really interesting intrigue going on. I do know that I struggle with being involved. I would like more opportunities to be involved. And if I'm missing opportunities, if you can kind of help me know that they're there by pointing them out now and then, like to kind of nudge me in the right direction, that might help. So I need some kind of, maybe a little more engagement for myself to be able to fit my character into the world. And then go back to the other part of the sandwich, the other slice of bread, and let them know like what I really am looking forward to in the future and what I like about the campaign. So that kind of thing post session is really helpful for all kinds of GMs. It's very useful to have candid feedback. Obviously, you want to give it respectfully, but
Sure.
just being willing to like tell the GM like the areas that you might be struggling with, or that you feel like they could help you with, or if you just have an idea where you're like, hey, this thing happened and it would be really cool if blah blah blah, and then don't expect your GM to fulfill your wish. Just give them that seed and see if they want to plant it. And if they don't want to plant that seed, be comfortable with that. Be okay with not everything you want happening when you want it. And you never know, something could show up later. So, but Wolfo, what this makes me think though is, what are the basics that you would want from a player before, during, and after the session?
Well, before the session, I would want them to show up, as you said.
That's hopeful.
Preferably they have a character sheet that they've worked on between the DM and the other players. A collaborative effort to build up a team.
And they don't have to depend on a website to get it.
Yeah, they don't have to depend on a website. It helps, but it's not necessary.
Like if they've got a download to PDF option, maybe use that. Is that the kind of thing? Oh, I was such a failure. All right. Go on, I'm sorry.
During the session, just pay some attention to what's going on. You don't necessarily always have to pay attention, but whenever I say your name, you go, huh, what were we doing? I'd be like, oh no.
I think we're all guilty of that every now and then, but just shouldn't be a constant.
Every now and then is okay, because some people space out, including the DM.
Yep.
Especially when the party's trying to solve a puzzle in a completely opposite direction of what the puzzle's supposed to be done.
Look, I am just not that smart, okay? My character's smarter than me. Let me make a roll for a hint, for fuck's sake.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Honestly, I'm not smart.
I'm not saying anybody here has done this. But I have had it in the past where the player character is just like, oh, I don't know, I just mix some paint around and paint a Rubik's Cube or something. Like, okay, you do that. You did not solve the puzzle, though.
Also, where did you get the paint?
No, the paint was provided with a bottomless bowl of paint.
Okay.
Does the barman have any peanuts? What happens when I put the peanuts in my nose?
Okay, well, you do that, and you did not solve the puzzle.
Damn it, this thing is unsolvable. Peanuts in my nose and everything. What about after?
And after, I would imagine that the players would be able to come to me and be like, hey, this puzzle is too damn difficult. Why didn't the peanuts up my nose solve this?
It's a stupid puzzle. Obviously, that should have worked.
I'd probably be like, yeah, you're right. Eventually, some way, I should have made a solution that would have worked. Be like, if you can't figure it out, then I as a DM or GM, should be able to make a way for something to progress the story.
You notice all of a sudden, way in the corner of the room, in the shadows, there's a skeleton clutching a note.
Yeah, I would say if it's give your players like 30 minutes if they're stuck on the same part of the puzzle. Maybe give them some hints.
I mean,
at this point, you go, okay, roll for your investigation or something. And it's not necessarily to make them do something about it. It's just to buy you enough time to figure out, okay, where are we going to put this note?
Well, now I thought the whole theme of tonight's program was tips for GMs or DMs, as the case may be.
Tips
Um,
from, yeah.
DMs. Okay, so as a player,
Like-
I would like you to be able to tell me as a DM what I could improve upon, such as I don't know, voice acting that I don't do, or
more accents.
perhaps Nar.
Use props.
Props. Okay. Hard to do when you're in the digital world
Yeah,
playing the D&D.
We're not using cameras, so sorry, no prop.
But yeah, as the player, you can tell me that I need to improve upon certain aspects of the game, such as being too dice heavy for mundane things, or not dice heavy enough for major consequences.
Mm. Actually, that's a really good point. Is the meaningless roles problem? That's actually advice that goes both ways, like player and GM alike. Like, you should only ask for a role if you can actually accept that there's a success or failure, like that those conditions will be acceptable, and if there's a meaning in those outcomes. So, like, you don't have people roll for stuff they don't need to roll. If you're just going to give them whatever it is they're going to find in the room, like if you're going to make sure they find it, don't make them roll to find it. You're wasting everybody's time and effort. It's a false sense of accomplishment for them to succeed. And if they fail and you're going to give it to them anyway, then failure becomes meaningless. So there's no stakes. So just don't make people roll if they don't have to.
If you're deadlocked into the point where you have to roll and you have to have them succeed, that's a great way to deadlock your campaign. Don't do it.
Right. Just give them the roll.
Just give it.
Find a different way to
And
say,
as a player, you look and you notice that the door is open.
Right, there you go. And as a player, you don't have to expect to roll. You don't have to walk into a room and be like, okay, I'm going to roll for perception. Like, bro, I'm going to give you the perception. Chill. Just like it. I'll tell you what you see.
Perception is good enough.
Yeah.
Right.
To make it simple, players, don't ask to roll. Ask to do something.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little better.
Be clear about what you want to do, by the way. So, like, if you say, hey, can I investigate? Your DM is going to start asking you questions on what you even want to investigate, because they need to know. But if you say, hey, can I read the note in the corner? We'll go pick it up. Okay, I picked it up. Cool. What language is it?
I guess we're kind of talking about
language you don't know.
We're kind of talking about like during the session, what do we expect from players? I guess what I kind of expect is that when you're out of combat, just give me your intentions. Just tell me what you're intending to do. What is it you're trying to accomplish? Don't tell me you want to roll something. Don't tell me and I have a problem doing this myself as a player because I got so into like mechanics heavy play with people back when I was doing this all the time. So it's hard for me to avoid it too. Is that like, I shouldn't be saying like, well, can I make a diplomacy check? What I should be doing is describing for my GM like what I want to do. Like, well, I'm going to see if I can persuade this person to maybe help us. Maybe I can see if they'll give us some supplies or something. So then, even though that is kind of a diplomacy check, it's up to the DM to say like, oh, okay, yeah, they talked to you about it, and this is what happens if there's no consequences to the roll, or they don't want to let me fail. Then they don't have to make me make a roll, and I don't have to make a roll. I don't have to propose the roll. Just do the thing. And as on the GM side, like if a player gives me like good ideas and RP, that might make me go, oh, I was going to make this person roll, but they just described like a really smart approach. They're being creative, and I'm going to reward that by not forcing them to go through a whole pass-fail thing. Like the interesting like way that they approached this is enough for me to go like, oh, actually, yeah, okay, so you succeed. That's great. I don't even have to tell them they succeed. I just let them know how the interaction goes. That's useful. It saves us all, you know. Like if somebody tells me, I want to make a diplomacy check to see if I can get these goblins to tell us where their hideout is. All right, that's not good.
That one,
Tell me how it is that you make this diplomacy check. Describe it to me. But if you tell me right off the bat, like, okay, we're trying to find out where these things live, so I'm going to see if I can coerce them. Like, I'm going to tell them that we already know, and you know, we know that you've got a hideout over in this forest. See if I can trick them into revealing something. Like, well, now you're giving me something interesting and creative. So if I still make you make the roll, then I will give you some sort of benefit to the roll. Maybe I'll give you a bonus to the check or something. Like, we're going to make it at a +9. I'm going to consider it like a +10 or a +11. When you make your roll, I'm going to give you a little bit better chance of success, you know?
yeah, I've actually made a DM yell fuck and throw something because he had set the diplomacy check or persuasion check so high that he's like, there's no way that you're gonna get this guard to tell me the thing. But I didn't ask to roll persuasion. I took what I knew about the guard and I appealed to his emotions. And
sure, yeah.
the DM couldn't even make me roll because he knew that there was no way that I didn't get through to the guard. Like,
sure,
it was something where I was like...
Yeah, if you can't accept the success or failure, then don't make people roll. If you're just like, well, fuck, there's no way you can possibly fail that, so don't roll it. Yeah, exactly. Of course, like, the other side of that is some stuff is just impossible.
I determined where... Like, I knew where the guard lived from previous interactions. We had, like... It was one of those weird things where other players in the group had just started asking about this guard, and so the DM gave details about the guard that he was obviously making up on the spot.
Yeah.
But it gave us the neighborhood. It told us that he had a daughter, and...
Well, now I got an in. I can threaten the daughter.
That's... Well, not... I didn't need to threaten the daughter, but that section of the city was about to be under a curse, and we were trying to stop the curse from being fully implemented, and so I basically, you know, went, hey, don't you live here? Yeah. So are you gonna be able to go run down and get your daughter before the curse is fully laid? No. So do you want to let us through?
I mean, that's... Look, the roles, the mechanics, those are only there to help us determine things that have a chance of success or failure, right? The idea is that you're telling me what your character does, and then if I think it's something that, like, ooh, you may or may not be able to do that, there are different consequences, give me a roll. That's my job as a GM, is to say, like, oh, because of the scenario you presented, what mechanic do I use to represent the potentials for success or failure? And if it's not a matter of potential success or failure, then there's no reason I should make you roll. We should continue to engage in the narrative. And I think that's great that you can bypass rolling. Like, that's useful if you can engage in the narrative.
Oh, you're going.
Sorry, go on.
Speaking of rolling, what I expect from a player beforehand is actually knowing the different types of dice. Now, knowing that the D12 and the D20 are both kind of spherical and they roll, that's not too much of an issue. But as long as you go, oh, this triangle shape is the same thing as the circle shape, then we have a problem.
Look, damn it.
Has that ever been a
because I
problem?
rolled a D6 for my initiative.
Have you ever had that as a problem before?
I haven't had it as a problem before because a it's not an issue that is very common. But if you're rolling your D12 for initiative, I
Whoops.
have questions.
It happens, people get mixed up sometimes. You click the wrong thing. It's okay.
I mean, if you're doing it constantly, like, oh, always pick the D12 instead of just, oh, I rolled the D12. Oh, look, I got 12.
Well,
That's
now,
weird.
interestingly, I feel like we've kind of been covering question 5, which are there tips you can give players that would help their DMs? So we've kind of been there.
Yeah.
Is there anything specific that you feel like you need to add to that?
Let's see here. Having multiple ways of accessing your character sheet, that's a good way to help
Yes.
your DM.
Yes,
And not
sir.
relying upon one website to do all the work.
Yes. Yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir.
Hey, wonderful
Don't worry,
advice for
the
people.
DM is guilty of this too.
Wonderful advice for people, and I need to do a refresher course on it.
Should I give you something in return?
Use the guide of a page, but take the time to try and make a few character sheets without with pen and paper. Like,
Yeah.
read it thoroughly, because there are a lot of things in the character sheet that you are going to learn how they operate while you're creating it. And with the guides, like,
I can see
they
that.
don't they don't teach you everything that you should really learn to be a good player. Like, there's more.
I would kind of
It's more
recommend.
about learning the page.
Sure. I kind of recommend that DMs. What is going on here? That DMs go through what is like the basics of what they need with the character sheet, especially if it's a new player who hasn't done tabletop role-playing games before. If you've done tabletop role-playing games before, but let's say it's a new game and you're not familiar with this game's version of the character sheet, then you may want to go ahead, take a look at the character sheet. Look ahead of time if you're already familiar with tabletop games. Look ahead of time at the character sheet and write down any questions that you may have. Like, what is this? What do these stats do? Like, I've been looking at the player's guide and I'm, kind of struggling to figure out how this is supposed to work in game. Like, that's a common thing for me where I'll read it and I'm like, I just can't understand how this is supposed to work. Like, it's giving me an explanation on the page and I'm like, I can't visualize it. So can you help me visualize it? That sort of thing.
Having somebody to kind of walk you through what the character sheet does and how it functions, like especially with a little bit of maybe like sample play ahead of time, can be really, really helpful when you're trying to learn a new system. So that's a really good point, Vic. Thank you. Actually, I was about to ask, like, Vic, so what are your answers to these questions? Or do you have like an inversion where you can say, like, as a player, this is what I would like from my GM before, during, and after?
Yeah, so for things that like for before, obviously, like I said, for the if it's a new player who's never played before, help them out, like help them figure out how things work. they might find the player guide a little overwhelming. So even if you tell them read the player guide, it might be a lot of information and it doesn't make sense to them or things like that. Personally, I don't read the Dungeons and Dragons player's guide because it's fucking huge and it just kind of goes everywhere. So instead, what I do is I look at the character sheet and I look what's needed, and then based off the character sheet, I will go and search up the different things that I need to fill out through the player's guide. Just reading through a player's guide is not going to be helpful. I think it's just too overwhelming. It's too much information, and if you struggle with focusing on reading, especially like textbook reading kind of shit, like yeah, you're not gonna like it. For the DM,
I mean, what, are you saying that 289 pages is a bit much for a character?
Y'all never read
yeah.
the Pathfinder stuff. Those core rule books of the Pathfinder were over 500 pages. Good luck with that. No, Pathfinder 2e is a little different though, so I'm honestly kind of really interested in exploring P2e a lot better. So
you don't
but
say.
anyway, go on, Doug. I'm sorry. Just a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. So for like so you're asking like what can players ask of their dungeon masters or game masters? Is that what your question is?
Just like you're a player and thinking about like what you think your GM, what you want from them when it comes to like before, during, and after the game session. Like, what is it you want to see happen? Because we all know that we've had good and bad versions of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say, obviously, everybody should work together with campaign expectations. That should be a group thing. So players and game masters should work together to work like what do they want from that game. So if you haven't done expectations before, this is the kind of campaign I'm looking for. This is the kind of gameplay that I'm looking for. Like, I don't want it to be so detail oriented about a system that everything is crunchy, or like you have to like look up every rule or figure out every rule, like as Fern put it, some people really like crunch, but personally, when it comes to actual gameplay, I prefer like let's ask, like the player asks, can I do this? And the game master can see like, okay, well, let's figure out how we can do something similar to that, because the tabletop is about being able to do like whatever you imagine, as long as it's not like something that would ruin the fun for everybody. If it would make things more fun, I think it should work together on figuring out the flow to make it like more smooth. Whoa. Sorry, hold on. To make it smooth together.
Yeah, we all want to be engaged. We all want to have a good time together. We also recognize that part of the way that we feel more satisfied with the outcome is recognizing that there are rules that have to be followed, and there needs to be like a progression from want to satisfaction, right? Like just handing you the gold medal without ever running the race, well, that's not going to satisfy. Like, it's not doing you anything. You're not getting anything out of that. So like sitting down to play and then not having to do anything to succeed doesn't feel good for anybody. So we do this by the rules so that we all feel a sense of accomplishment and we have a good time engaging with one another. So yeah, we're all just trying to make this a cooperative experience where we all have a good time. And it doesn't mean that we can't have serious moments. It doesn't mean that we have to roll for every silly little thing, but it also doesn't mean that we just completely ignore the way the rules work and everybody gets whatever they want the moment they think of it. Like, we're working together to make this an interesting and fun campaign. So, yeah, trying to cooperate toward that.
Yep. Fun comes from overcoming challenges and adversity together. And you're always trying to figure out what is the right challenge level for this particular thing. How do I make it so that it's hard enough that when you do it, it feels like an accomplishment and not just a participation trophy? And at the same time, how do I make it so it's not so hard that the players get frustrated and can't, move forward, and everybody's not having a good time, that sort of thing.
Yeah, we don't want to feel stifled.
Yeah. So it's always a push and pull that I think everybody can work with. I think obviously when it comes to challenge level, that's a huge part of it goes to the game master. But a simpler part of it may go to the player to know to voice what sort of challenge level they're looking for. Like, what does a fun challenge feel like to them? While also acknowledging that that making it too easy can feel like it's or making like an overpowered character, or like trying to break the game or something. Not everybody's gonna find that fun.
Yeah, you get a 20 in every stat. You win all your rolls. What else? That's no good. Nobody likes that.
Right. Exactly. So
we had you know what? That was one of our low points. Is we had a player that we literally had to demonstrate it to him that way. He was so he would try to cheat his rolls. He was always trying to like optimize his character to the maximum of the limits, and in fact was caught making some BS adjustments to his character sheet sometimes. And like I was like so fed up trying to explain to him that stop doing that, you're cheating. No, I'm not. I just didn't realize. No, we know you're cheating. Come on. So I just got so fed up with it. One session I just broke down. I'm like, okay, look, what do you want to do? What's your character do? And he says, oh, I'm going to see if I can blah, blah, blah. And then before he even finished rolling, I was like, you succeed. You win. Go ahead. What next? What do you want to do now? Well, I'll go take the something or other. Cool. It's the best treasure ever. You have 1 million gold pieces. What else do you want to do? And we just did that for about 10 minutes before he got fed up. He's like, well, I don't even understand what's the matter? What are you doing? Do you see how it's useless? You see how useless it is to like just be handed everything, to just win everything automatically? Stop cheating. You're ruining it for everybody. You're disrespecting the whole table. It's gross and it's offensive, and we don't like it. Nobody wants to play with you if you do that. We don't want to do the game with you if you do that. If you can't stop cheating, you're done. We're throwing you out, Like, just play, dude. Just come and have a fun time at the game. Let bad things happen now and then. It's the only thing that makes it interesting. Sorry, I went on a tangent.
Nope, you're right. I agree.
What are your player expectations? Don't cheat.
That is an expectation. Okay, I'll give you that. Thank you. Yes. You're quite right. Thank you, Jester.
So
also, it's really funny in a game where the stakes are win and have fun and lose and have fun, that you have to be told not to cheat, because
like, what the fuck do you get out of that?
I like I think losing can be really fun if you make it like, if you try to make losing as crazy as possible. Make it like super, it gives you really complex issues, or like everything just breaks down into mass hysteria and chaos, or just make it fun, make it dramatic, make it big, make it silly, you know. Uh, and there was a game that I was playing that's called Cult's Divinity Lost, and the idea is like I was looking at stats that like could reduce your sanity level, so you would be like go from okay to like anxious to stressed to and then like eventually you just break down. Now your
Like
rolls would get worse. I mean, some rolls would get worse. Your keep it together rolls would get worse, but you would get better at seeing crazy things. Crazier events would happen. uh it was just more fun to not be sane. um
I think I saw somebody use that in like Call of Cthulhu, where
I was gonna say, isn't that a mechanic in that game? The sanity rolls.
as you lost sanity while your reasoning capabilities went down, because you were losing sanity, this DM, I don't know if it's a mechanic of the game. I was just watching somebody play. But like part of the mystery that they were there to solve could only be solved by losing your sanity, because the clues couldn't be seen by a sane person.
Yeah, that can be fun.
So
it's that improv thing, right? Like yes, and like you're saying like, okay, yeah, so some stuff's gonna drive you insane, but that gives you some cool things that you can do now. Like you're in a whole different set of rules at this point.
yeah.
Yeah, and so that kind of goes into, I guess we were sort of already in that question, and I think this can go for whether you're a game master or you're a player. And that is like, what are some tips that can help make the sessions, like what do you think would help players and dungeon masters have the most fun during their sessions?
You mean besides alcohol
And nudity?
and nudity, completing levels naked?
Yeah, that's one of those campaign
Okay.
expectations that you got to say, like, either I expect everybody to be nude for this, or I expect everyone to be dressed for this.
This is definitely a session 0 talk right there.
Listen, guys, we're doing the rest of this campaign as a Wicca like a Wiccan ritual, so you will be expected to show
Skyclad.
up skyclad. Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, that's how it's got to be. Hey, what am I going to tell you? It's the rules. Jim said. I didn't make this up.
By the way, it should say that I started the event. Why didn't it say I started the event? Oh, because it's a Wednesday. That's why. Excuse me.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wolfo. What's your advice there, Wolfo?
Yeah, that's why I was
For me,
Yeah,
I think the best way to have fun is to be consensually being there and being able to communicate properly what you want to have fun with.
I can see that. I think I keep thinking about. This probably tells you why we have the kinds of sessions we do when you guys play with me. I kind of keep thinking of the sessions a little bit like an improv session, because a lot of the advice that I have accumulated over the years kind of correlates. first of all, like the idea that there has to be trust. So I'll skip the whole talk about the I'll skip the talk about how improv works on trust. But for gameplay, the players and the GMs, we have to trust each other, or we won't be able to accomplish things. So like when the players all get together with a brand new GM, as maybe you guys might remember in a recent campaign for some other person I can't remember right now, there would be times when it would seem like we all agreed to sit down and play by these rules, and it doesn't seem like these rules matter. Every time I think there's a way things will work, I don't feel like the world actually behaves the way that it's supposed to behave. I try to do something, and I'm being told like, "Oh yeah, this is why that's catastrophic for you." It's like that doesn't make sense. It doesn't play by the rules. I don't understand. We agreed to these rules. Why aren't these rules functioning? It's because we couldn't trust. We couldn't trust that the person who was arbitrating was doing so fairly. Now, to be fair, to be true about it, like you can be unfair as a GM. In fact, there are certain situations where you sort of have to be. You're supposed to be. Every time you're playing a role-playing game, a tabletop role-playing game, there's a set of rules, and there are exceptions to those rules. And in particular, when it comes to things like combat-heavy stuff, like a D&D or Pathfinder or what have you, there are going to be exceptions to the rules that are built into either a monster or a trap or an adventure module, whatever. That's why it's important that your players have to be able to know that you're going to be integrous with your unfairness, if that makes sense. Rule mastery is important, but fairness is really important. You rule things in situation and then amend post facto if you have to, but the players need to know that they can trust that the GM is doing their best to make a fair enough representation that we're all having a good time and that things are going to work roughly the same between sessions. If somebody joined us.
Should be Lefty the Jedi. Hello.
Oh,
We have a Jedi with us.
Hello, Jedi.
I hope they can tolerate the presence of my Sithness.
It's an honor to have a fellow lefty here.
How are you guys doing?
Hey.
Verbose, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you.
Glad to have you with us. Anyway, so let me just finish this up though. The trust thing is really important. If you can trust that your GM isn't trying to like screw you over, or just if you know your GM isn't trying to win against the party, like
that's
then
got
at
to be
least you can all trust that you're having a good time. Like I'm not the kind of person that I think like it's me versus the players, or I'm a player versus the GM. Like I don't think like that. If I'm doing my job as a GM, I lose all the time. Like that's kind of how it should go. I'm not saying you should hand things on a platter to the PCs. I'm just saying that like if I design the encounter well, the PCs have a really good chance of succeeding, and they have to work for it. And there's a chance of consequences. Somebody dies, what have you, especially depending on the system. Like D&D, these sessions we've been playing, I kind of feel like it sort of expects you to succeed all the time. That's one thing I would really like to try out P2E for, because it's very heavily, oh no, you're going to take damage. You'll probably drop quite a few times. You're going to have to be revived several times. It's just expected. You take lots of damage. And so I think I like that dynamic because it gives people a sense that there are actual consequences. But with that right balance of trust, then the players can trust that the GM is doing their best to give them a fair shake, and that ultimately they do have good chances of succeeding. And when they do so, it'll be because we all work together and we were able to trust one another to have a good time. So that's, I think, really important.
So far, sunshine. You're not allowed in.
And now I'm going to shut up.
No, I agree. Yeah, player expectations are a big thing. Some people would maybe want to say during their session 0 that they want things to be, they may want difficulty, but they would like to be talk with, like, they would like to have a talk ahead of time to see, like, if they're okay with a character death. I know some people, when they get really, they want to be really immersed in their characters, which I don't think is a bad thing. They may want a little heads up of, like, in this type of situation, you could have like a character death. Is that something that you're interested in? And that's kind of the main thing that I'm thinking of. But that
And like, is it okay if your character gets chlamydia?
gets what?
Not that gets chlamydia. Isn't that
Oh.
that's not part of what you're? I don't know why I just thought of the word chlamydia at the beginning of this, and it's still a funny word to me. So
yeah, you're really interested in that one.
It's a funny word. All right, I'm sorry. I'll stop.
No, it's all right. Yeah, so that might also be
Will
another
you
thing
though?
where
Will
no,
you?
I doubt that.
Yeah.
But all that said, is this the school? Okay, this is the school. Hopefully I can chat with the teacher. I don't know. It says it's daylight, but I see nobody. Yeah, sure, why not? And cool. All right. So for maybe you want your thing to be like this would actually go with the consent, like the consent form. Things like, are you okay with there being romance? What are your comfort levels of romance? Do you want to avoid things that are sexual? What do you want flayed to black? What do you want never mentioned? What are you not, like things like that.
Heavy petting's okay, no tongue. What? Oh, that's a different. Never mind.
I guess technically, though, whether or not everybody else wants to be part of that, people gotta consent to that.
Yeah, right.
But all that said, yeah, so you can give out consent forms, and that actually will tell your DM exactly what you are comfortable with, and how, what you want to talk about beforehand, what you want heads up for, what are your comfort levels with different topics and things like that.
Right.
One of the harder things, like one of the harder things is like, are you okay with animals or children being harmed in the game? Because I'm like, normally I don't like animals being harmed, but I also am like, if it's like, okay, there's like a bear that's terrorizing the place, and for whatever reason, no matter what you do, you can't convince the bear to not terrorize the place, and so you have to, fight the bear, and the bear dies.
Should have played a druid.
Well, at least the wolves are happy that you were able to convince them.
Yeah, and like speak with animals, and then it turns out the person who like objects to animal violence speaks up and says, you know what, after hearing what the bear had to say, especially on the issue of abortion, I'm okay with this bear meeting a violent end, and just things can work out. I don't know. Just saying. No, I get it. You're right though. Consent's important. Sorry, go on.
Interesting. Okay.
Did I break the bear? I broke Vic.
Sorry.
The opinions of Fern Lovebond do not necessarily reflect those of Victoria Little or her channel. If you have any complaints about the opinions of Fern Lovebond, please direct them to Fern directly. You can do this via DM or email.
Right, yeah. Also, the names that Fern Lovebond says are totally not doxing either. So,
Sorry, have I not looked at your entire channel?
yeah, I know. I'm not
I mean,
very subtle with
you're
my
all over social. Like, what part of that name have you not revealed to the whole world?
I know, I'm joking. It was a joke.
Why am I always the bad one?
It was a joke, you goof.
Stop hitting me! No, all right, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, so I get it. Things that'll make games fun. I mean, make sure you got all your expectations laid out in session 0. I think session 0s are very helpful, where you lay out all your stuff, all the stuff that you're good with. Oh, and I recently found a thing that's like a table agreement sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can. Here, let me pause this first so that the game doesn't progress.
Well, while you look for that, Left-Handed Jedi. Quick question: chunky or smooth peanut butter? Is Left-Handed Jedi still with us?
He's muted. There you
I'm
are.
here. Sorry.
No, quite all right. Smooth or chunky peanut butter?
What's up?
Smooth or chunky peanut butter?
Both.
Incorrect. I'm sorry.
Depends on the mood.
I don't have to ask you the one about which hand is
I
the
have
correct
the group
hand.
that I'm. Yeah, the group I'm running with. We've known each other for 30 years, off and on. And as far as group dynamics and everything like that, I couldn't ask for a better group. I'm really lucky with the people that we're each taking turns running a game, so we're all doing like one shots, and we just kind of work out a schedule and each take a turn. It's fun.
Wait, just get schedule? How? How did you get them to agree?
Well, it's a matter of sitting there on chat and going, okay, how about this week? What do you guys got doing? What's going on here? And that kind of thing. And we've had, let's see, over the last 2 months, we've gotten together like 5 times. That's not too bad.
Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, doing pretty good.
So,
hey, let me ask you this: when it comes to like how you manage NPC things, because I found a little trick worked really well for me, and I'm just kind of curious how other people handle it. Your PCs walk into the bar. There's the brooding stranger that you clearly want them to engage with, and then they're like, "Who else is in the bar?" You're like, "I don't know, a barmaid and a guy that's cleaning the place is like a kobold or something." And they're like, "Oh, we want to go talk to the kobold." Like, yeah, it's a green kobold, and his name is Fark Fart. I don't know. What do you want to know? And they just focus on the kobold. Like, how do you keep up like NPC ideas? Do you have like a method for dealing with the random NPC stuff? Because that can usually come back to bite you in the ass.
For me, I have central location and everything called Dragon Hill Inn, and it's a bar that is inside the corpse of a dead dragon that like heroes killed like 300 or 400 years ago, and it landed, and the ground and grass and everything kind of grew up around it, and so the majority of the tavern and everything that people can get access to is the skull. And so when you're walking up the path to the inn, these two round windows, and it's actually the dragon's eye sockets that they put glass in. And as far as NPCs, the last time I ran, they were like resupplying, and it actually has like internal plumbing, which is kind of rare in the world.
In dragons.
And I just described the NPC. Huh?
Indoor plumbing is kind of rare in
describe. They
Thank you, Billy.
Yeah, kind of thing. They it's kind of like Dwemer Tech from Skyrim. There's like remnants of quasi-technological things that they've reverse engineered and been able to like have hot baths and that kind of thing in the rooms. But as far as NPCs, it's just they ran into a pair of twins and everything that were, dressed with like hoods and masks and that kind of thing, and just let their curiosity take over. If they didn't want to, I run a very loose game.
You don't like keep notes about the NPCs, or do you track any of that? Because that's hard for me to remember that stuff, and so I ended up using like a literal address book and just putting all my NPCs in it.
Something must have crawled up inside him and died.
I have like Word documents for each adventure that I run, and so if I need to find like an NPC, I just do a search, and it just looks.
So you do have
search for NPC, and it'll have a list.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a method to the madness. There's like a list, and I have Chat GPT just make up NPC stats and everything, and just kind of plot, cut and paste, and throw them in there. There's very little effort into it, and if I want a specific personality type, then I'll tweak it and put like notes in there and everything like that. But otherwise, it's just I guess I've been running long enough that players are going to go off script every time. So I do as little scripting as humanly possible. I'll come up with a map, come up with where the treasure is located, what creatures, and if there's certain encounters that they're going to have, I'll put more effort into it, and then basically just kind of throw that in there whenever I can, kind of thing.
Okay,
the last
it's a
one...
a little more sandboxy. That's kind of my approach too. I prefer that.
Yeah. As long as it's fun for the players and me, that's all that really matters. I don't get stressed out. If there's an NPC they don't run into, I'm like, okay, So.
I just had a problem with making them up on the fly and then forgetting all the stuff that I made up, and my players being like, "But what about Matilda? Like, who? The maid that was at the hotel that we stayed at." Like, right, Matilda. And they're like, "The dwarf lady." Yeah, the dwarf lady. Yeah. Sure. I kept losing track of stuff. I started a address book for them.
I had a DM that said that if there were any NPCs that we liked and wanted to see again, we better have taken notes and given them to the DM, because they probably didn't make that before.
Yeah, I should have thought of that. Why didn't I think of that? Make them keep track. Fuck.
Yes.
I can't believe
that there'd be like,
we have an
years
official
of this shit, and I didn't think of that.
Yeah. I love having all this feedback from DMs. I hope everybody's been finding this helpful to quite an extent. Since
apparently I helped a DM.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm not willing to admit to that yet. I will not concede that point.
Oh, okay. I won't make you. Ever.
Sorry. Good. Sorry, Vic. Good. Please go on.
No, it's not much. Just like any anything that you find the most fun to do during a session or campaign overall. And this is just a round table thing, so everybody can contribute.
Wolfo, what's the most fun?
Oh, I find it absolutely fun when the player characters decide to rampage in a city, shooting guns and attracting attention of the guards, and is just shooting up commoners that are just trying to get some information from somebody.
You are
Murder
so
hobo.
welcome, but also, I might point out that if those people are just trying to get information and they act suspicious when they're confronted, it might not be the player's fault.
I'd say that the people looking for information were good aligned.
Yeah, those suspicious activities like walking away.
I mean, it wasn't that they were walking away, it was how they were walking away.
Oh, wow. That does
I
not
do
sound good.
not like the cut of his
But-
jib. He
That
walked
But
in funny.
also,
That was
I
like really
wasn't the
victim
one
blaming.
who escalated that. I did not escalate. I was trying to push for information.
No, you didn't escalate.
And
You just defend the escalator.
Hey.
Well, okay, fine. I am defending the escalator. I am just saying I was trying to interrogate, not ventilate their. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see the cock of his
Well,
eyebrow? He was
channeling
asking
your
for
inner
it.
murder hobo.
Yeah, we have a murder hobo with us. It's one of those things.
Oh, I have a quick Fable question for Jester. Is it possible to have mercy in the arena on as many foes as possible? Like, how do I not act? Is it like, can I accidentally kill them, or will it give me a choice of like, do you want to kill them or not? In the
Wait,
arena.
what?
In Fable, in the arena.
Oh.
People.
There is a singular person that you are able to find a way to not. Sort of in a way
I guess that's as
that
possible.
honestly, I think that a certain book about a bow-wielding contestant in a death contest took inspiration from Fable.
Okay. All right. Well, I will. I'll see if it'll let me. Because I can do both. I can do either show no mercy, kill all you face, or have mercy on as many foes as possible. I was
But there's
thinking,
no in between?
not if I want to do a boast.
There should be an in between.
It's weird.
I guess the in between would be some of you may die, but that is a sacrifice I am willing to make.
Exactly.
Some of you standing here today will not live to see the coming of my PC in its glory.
So Tilt says, is it just me or is there a lag somewhere? Seems like some guest voices are getting stepped on by a lag. I mean, there is some sort of, like, there's a small delay. but
Sorry, it's probably my fault.
There's
so.
there's less. It's less that there's lag, and more that we are all very excited tonight.
Yes, that's the word I would
can-
use to describe you, Jester, is excited.
So excited.
Okay.
This is his excited voice.
I speak slowly and carry a big.
I
This
know.
is my titillated voice.
It's awesome. I keep thinking of that guy in Reservoir Dogs, where he's like, he's always, his entire time, he just talks so like calm and chill, and he's the Vega guy. He's like, yeah, well, that was exciting. Gosh, my heart's racing, and he's saying it's so deadpan. Like,
Well, just as a point, I do have stage fright, and I am speaking through my Tourette's. So I
oh,
am.
interesting.
I have to, unless you want to listen to me, twitch and make weird verbal noises, I have to slow down and speak clearly.
Oh no, it just seemed like you're always so calm. And that's just the way I characterized it in my head, is just that you're a calm person, and so you speak calmly and plainly. Okay, makes sense.
Nope. I grew up in a position where I had to learn to be calm in the storm.
And you are of greater discipline than I. What's going on, Vic?
I was just trying to answer Till's question. He said it didn't feel like that. It felt like a delay. So the best explanation that I can give, if it's something that you're hearing between us, is that anytime you're doing any sort of voice chat, you've got to deal with the fact that it's not instantaneous like it would be when you're in person. And we can't see each other's faces or body language, so we can't see what it looks like when they're about to start speaking. And so sometimes it can sound like we're starting to speak when another person's starting to speak, and it's a couple of compounded issues. It's a compound it's a combination of a very small delay that comes from the internet, and people having to take a minute to respond. So it's technology plus human limitations.
We're gonna make do.
Some people have a greater delay, up to 3 or 4 seconds. Now that I have not seen. There may be a thing where they're on mute and they have to unmute themselves. That's all I know. Or you're just waiting for people to respond.
This sounds like a.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just thinking that sounds like a hint. I should mute myself.
No, I'm saying that there are some people here, like when we asked them a question, they were on mute and didn't know it, and then they have to unmute themselves.
It happens.
And other times when I ask a question, if I don't ask like one individual person, people are waiting to see who will talk first.
I keep waiting for Tilting Windmills to speak. Never hear
them. Ooh, okay. So I'm going to accept this boast. So I'll go with have mercy, and the reason why I'm going to do that is because once I get the bright, like the armor the higher armor that gives you the better, what's the word I'm looking for? The higher alignment instead of the low alignment, because right now I've only got the dark plate and chainmail. then I'll wear that, get a really high alignment score, and then go to the Chapel of Storm and be super, super evil, because apparently it's easier to do if you start with a really high alignment. Oh, Jedi, is it like, are you struggling to hear us? Is that what you're saying? Is it like roboting on your end?
No, I was just being patient. I can't hear if I'm roboting or not. That's why I popped that into the comments.
Yeah, I'm not
You
hearing
sound
it.
fine to us.
So
Yeah, no issues on our end.
it'll turn out that I've been the problem the whole
Okay,
time.
cool.
My middle
So
name
what
is
I'm
Problem Child. Oh.
That's funny, especially when it kind of feels like, well, so technically I do have an older brother, but because he's 8.5 years older than me, we've almost been raised separately. And
Yeah, that's a big gap.
Yep. And so a lot of my experience has felt like an only child experience. So if there's a problem child, it was each of us as his only child. Although he might say that he would get blamed for more things when I was a kid because he was older.
Yeah. Well, and was he the first, and then you're like the second one?
See, I'm the youngest.
Yep. I'm the baby. Go ahead, Jedi, or whoever was speaking.
Oh, I just said I'm the youngest of 9, and there's 14 years difference between my oldest brothers, who are triplets, and myself. So I get that whole only child thing. There's, huge gaps between me and even my closest siblings, 4 years. So
Right.
I have just so much
big Catholic
sympathy for
family.
your poor mother.
So
Well,
like
she had
I was shocked.
triplets, and then she had twins.
Wow. Oh my God. Did she use
Yeah,
IVF?
mom had 5. What?
Sorry,
No. This was back in. Let's see, the triplets were born in 1950.
Oh. Well, I guess
So it was a long time ago.
she's just got
Yeah.
some sort of I don't know, maybe some sort of epigenetic disposition or something like that she's more likely to have multiples.
Yeah, she had.
Go ahead.
Yeah, she had 5 kids. I was gonna say she had 5 kids in 17 months.
That's so crazy.
She had the triplets and got pregnant right away, and then twins after that.
No, thank you.
She was a little baby factory.
That's the 50s before they invented any kind of contraception ever. That should be completely fact checked. Do not believe me.
I'm pretty sure there was male contraception. I'm not
They
gonna.
might have had condoms back then, but
yeah.
She was Catholic, so she didn't use contraception.
Right, because that would be against the God's rules.
I think there was a spray.
Yep.
No, I don't think they invented mace until much later. Oh no, you okay? Never mind.
All right, let's move on. Especially for I don't know. I don't think this if I ever get
I gotta get
monetized, I think this episode's being monetized. I think that ship has sailed. But you know,
And
if
I was the one who broke the dock for it.
actually
5
it would have
minutes
been
after monetization, you've been demonetized because we have questions about your account.
Who is this
it
Stern
depends.
person?
Who was the first one who mentioned the
Chlamydia?
the fun, not that one, the fun the happy plant, as some people call it. I don't know who mentioned
Oh
it. It was
no,
like
In
Did
this
he
that was
mention
stream
me.
it?
or
you.
in general?
That was on question one.
Oh,
Yeah, that
right.
was
I forgot you even mentioned that. Wow. Yeah. Whoops.
that's almost instant demonetization. So I
Ow.
think this episode.
Bah.
Oh,
That's okay, Vic. You'll never make money on this.
I know, but one can dream. Anyway, so
Such
it's now midnight.
inspirational word.
It's now midnight. I knew I was gonna run at like past 11 because I started late, so I wanted to give some extra time. But I is midnight where I am. For my Eastern coasters, it's 1 o'clock, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna give everybody a chance to go to sleep. So if you guys need to sign off now, I'm gonna ask everybody: is there anything you guys want to leave off with or direct people to?
You got to pick
So I'll
somebody,
start.
Vic.
Well, thanks for the invite.
Yeah,
I had a blast.
absolutely. Yeah, thanks for joining me. Here, hold on one second. I'll start with Jester. Anything you want to leave us off with or direct people to?
Betterthanember.com.
Awesome. I like
Awesome.
it. Left-handed Jedi. Same question.
Yeah.
Anywhere you want to direct people?
No, I've just oh, let me think. There's actually a channel that I've been watching called Professor Archive, I think it is, and he's been doing a lot of
You kind of cut
the
out. It was Professor
Bible
what?
Belt shifting away from. I think it Professor Archive,
Archive?
Archive, and he
Okay.
does yeah, he does stuff like a lot of the ones I've been watching recently and everything have been how the mega churches in the Bible Belt have been failing, and it's kind of interesting the facts that he pulls up.
Ooh.
Very interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot of churches that have failed, and they've been sold, and either they've been bulldozed or they've been converted into other facilities. So I find that interesting. So
Hmm. Okay. Very cool. Thanks for sharing, Left-handed Jedi. Vern, anywhere you want to direct people?
anytime.
I can't really think of anywhere other than just to say, please remember that my opinions are all my own. Do not let them reflect badly on our lovely host.
Don't worry, I've got
Also,
that disclaimer
watch out.
covered.
Yeah, I'm very glad you do, and watch out for herpes. Okay, that's it.
Lovely. The one that all kids get, like the one that we get a little cold sore on your lips or something, that kind of. Wolfo, anywhere you want to direct people?
Yes. There is iwastesomuchtime.com. It's a meme website that's pretty good, pretty chill.
Awesome. Love it. All right. If anybody has to leave while I'm doing the rest of the outro, totally understandable. Thanks for joining me. I want to thank everybody who has joined me for the stream. So that would be Tilt, the Left-Handed Jedi, everybody on my panel with Jester, Wolfo, and Fern. Thank you for joining me, Al and Tori, and let's think of a Stop the Stupidity, who jumped by. And I want to thank everybody who's also lurking, if you're watching live. Thank you if you're watching this in the future. And I also want to ask, if you enjoyed this, please consider consensually side hugging the like button. It's a free way to leave a tip if you made it this far. And you can subscribe to be notified of the next time I go live, which, as you see, can be very variable despite my plans to try and do it on Mondays at 9 p.m. Central. So just make sure you subscribe so you can be notified, and you can also check the posts tab in my channel to see if there have been any announcements or anything about having to reschedule. You can keep the roleplay discussion and fun going on the Ready to Roleplay server. You can join our growing roleplaying game community server in the description. And here's Fern's disclaimer. Please remember that each guest's opinions are their own and not shared by myself, this channel, or the Creator Accountability Network. All claims need to be independently verified and fact-checked, including any that I've made. And thanks again.
Especially the ones I make.
Thanks again to the Creator Accountability Network. Follow their link in the description to see how you can be a part of making the creative space more ethical. And I'm going to see if I can redirect us to another live. I saw Mezzo going earlier. I don't know if he's still going. He sure is. All right, I'm going to raid you. So if you go to Mezzo's live, please let him know that Vic sent you. And that Vic sends her best. For everyone who made it this far, thank you for joining our chill open discussions. I hope it provided a chance for you to kick back and listen until you're ready to sleep. We'll see you next Monday, maybe at 9 p.m. Central, when we can resume our game while we gab. Have a good night, everybody.